A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to today's class. Jazakumullah for arriving on time and being patient with us whilst we were setting up. Okay, so let's go to what we're going to be covering today. Today is just to go through, in case people are new to our course and they've missed the first few lessons. At the beginning of the class, we always display this PDF, and we put this up so that when you're coming to the recordings and you're looking maybe on YouTube or somewhere else to find a particular lesson, this will tell you what the lesson that you're about to view is all about. So today's lesson, the date is here, Thursday, the 9th of January, 2020. The chapter that will be in focus today is Al-Ikhlas, chapter 112, the complete surah. Okay. In English, is known as deep attachment. The rules that we're going to focus on are all the ones that we've covered so far, but today's focus is going to be on something known as Majestic Laam. And Majestic Laam, the material we'll use to teach that will be from the Tashilul-Qur'an, the second edition, and it's lesson number 25, page 111 in the hardback. As we've already stated, you can download these lessons from our website, nqc.org.uk. Okay, so without further ado, if I may have a student to the mic to do our opening dua.
Okay, I'll give it to you. A7362.
Assalamu alaikum. Default A7
362.
362. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Jazakumullah for asking. I am also well. Okay then, sweetheart. Do you know this dua?
No, but I do know some other one we did in G1.
Okay, fantastic. Okay then, so what I'll do is I'll lead you through this, okay? And if you could follow with me, all students at home, if you can also follow along with us. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Rabbi allimni.
Rabbi alimni.
Allimni.
Alimni.
Ma huwa khayrun.
Ma huwa khayrun.
Indak. Well done. And the English translation underneath.
O my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge.
Well done.
Tazkirah.
Well done. Do you know what Tazkirah is?
No.
Okay. Tazkirah is a book which contains a collection of dreams and other revelations that were vouchsafed. Now there's a big fancy word for you, which basically were given to the promised Messiah alayhi salam, and they're all put together and they're in a book known as Tazkirah. And you will find this dua if you go to that book. Okay?
Excuse me, dear teacher.
Yes.
Are we going to do any surahs today?
We are indeed, inshallah, as we do most days.
Yesterday I asked you, and today I really want to ask you again. Please, could I do one of those surahs one time, and then you can choose other students?
Okay, well, you've been called to the mic. If a support teacher, if you can note this student and call him to the mic again. Okay, all right, then, Jazakumullah for now. Allah Hafiz.
Okay, Khudafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, so let's now go to our rules of the class. Okay, now it's a couple of days into the course, and we've been going through these rules. I would like to have a volunteer on the mic to go through these rules for the students. Anybody would like to put their hand up to go through the class rules? Okay then, so let me just quickly choose one person. I will choose N8401. Okay, I am not able to get hold of her there. Okay, let me try. A7408. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम सलाम।
How are you, darling?
मैं ठीक हूँ, आपका क्या हाल है?
Alhamdulillah, I am also well. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, so can you go through the rules of our class for us, please?
Okay. Please ensure you are in wuzu.
Okay.
Head should be covered. Please check video icon has a red line across it. Please do not use raise hand unless asked by teacher. Please check you have logged in with your correct ID. Look in participants list to see if you can find yourself. Change to your correct ID by using rename facility. Otherwise, do not mess around with the ID. Only correct IDs will be called to the mic. Make sure you are in a quiet place where you can hear. Always listen to everything in class, whether you are on mic or not. A parent or elder should be with you. Any questions, issues, contact info@nqc.org.uk.
Mashallah, very, very clear voice. Alhamdulillah, you explained those very, very well. Jazakumullah. And Allah Hafiz for now. Okay, so very, very nicely done. These are our class rules, and pretty soon we will just display them very quickly. We expect all students to know these rules and to make sure that they abide by them. Remember, this is for your benefit. You're at home, we can't see, but if you observe all of these rules, the class goes much, much more smoothly. Okay, Jazakumullah to that lovely student. Okay, so now let me go and remind you of the things that we've done so far. So far in the last few days, we have pointed out that letters, 29 letters in the Arabic alphabet, there are some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters which are always thick, heavy sounds when you read them. Okay, so there's 29 letters and there's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 7 letters are always thick and heavy when you read them. Okay, they are Ho, Sod, Dad, To, Zo, Ghain, Qaf. And when we read them, we round our mouth and we make the sound thick and heavy. Whenever you see those thick, heavy letters in a anywhere in the Quran Majid, okay, you have to make sure that you read them thick and heavy. And just as they're thick and heavy, that means that the rest of the letters which are highlighted here or they're in black, they're thin. So when you read them, you have to make sure that their sounds are thin. And the easiest way to do that is to smile as you say them. Fa, Kaf, Lam, Mim. So you stretch your lips horizontally, you smile, and that automatically makes the sound thin. Okay, now I want you to look closely at the thick, heavy sounds here because I'm going to ask you a few questions in a moment. Okay, so we've done that. Okay, the other thing that we've also been emphasizing in class has been the timings. Okay, if you just bear with me for a second, if I can I'm going to admit everybody in charge discipline. I'm going to admit everybody. We will deal with incorrect IDs when I make an announcement, okay? So I'm just going to readmit everybody back into the class. Okay. Right, okay, so where was I? Okay, so pay attention, have a read through of the letters which are thick and heavy. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. The other thing that we've been really emphasizing is timing. And we've been saying, so let's go to where we were at yesterday. We were saying that timing is crucial. If you change the timing, something happens. I'm going to call a student to the mic, A7374. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam, darling. Okay, sweetheart. So I was just pointing out that whenever we see timing is really, really important when we're reading. And I'm just going to highlight a couple of places where timing is for 2 seconds. Now I want to ask you, what happens if you don't time your strokes properly when you're reading?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, then. So there was earlier on in the week, we had a very short presentation where we explained that when you're reading, the strokes, for example, this one here is a fatha, this one here is a kasra, and this one here is a dhamma. These strokes, they are known as short strokes, and when we read them, we spend only 1 second of time on them. There are other strokes which are known as vertical strokes. Vertical fatha as here, and here, and here. I'm just going to see if I can find, okay, we don't have an inverted dhamma or a vertical kasra here. Okay, but the long strokes, they are timed for 2 seconds. Okay, so you don't know. Let me ask, Allah Hafiz, darling, I'm going to choose another student. Okay. Okay, so if I can choose A7369. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. So darling, do you know why timing when we read is really important?
They're going down. They just picked.
Wa alaikum salam. So, okay, so I have got student A7375 on the mic. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Okay, so I've lost both of those students. Let me choose somebody who's got their hands up. N8368. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you, darling?
Good.
Okay, so you had your hand up, so I'm hoping that you were wanting to give the answer to my question,
Yes.
which was, if we read and we don't time things properly, why is it important to time things properly?
Because if you make something very long, it changes the meaning of the word.
Well done, mashallah. Yes. We will go through that presentation again because some students obviously were either absent or they have forgotten. Jazakumullah sweetheart for remembering that. Allah Hafiz for now.
Bye.
Okay, so as the student said, when we read, timing is really crucial. If we don't spend enough time on a stroke, or if we spend the wrong time on a stroke, we can change the meaning. Okay, so it's really important to make sure that whenever we see our long strokes like here, whenever we see mud letters like here, trying to think of here as well. If we see mud letters or if we see long strokes, we make sure that we time them for 2 seconds. And we make sure that we time the short strokes like this for 1 second. Okay, so fantastic. We've covered, those were the 2 rules essentially that we've covered so far. Yesterday, we also went through something known as a jerking sound or galgala. And there were some letters that we pointed out that when you recite them, okay, and they have got a sukoon on them, then you do what is known as galgala, a slight jerking sound when you read them. Now today when we come to recite, we're going to apply all the rules that we've been taught so far. But before we go to that, we are going to cover one more rule. And if I can just announce to the support teachers, yes, please admit all students, and I will announce when incorrect IDs are to be dealt with. Okay, so today we are going to focus on a new rule, okay, called Majestic Laam. Okay, now, a few moments ago, I explained that there were 7 letters in the alphabet, and they are known as thick, heavy sounds. Whenever you see them, you've got to read them thick and heavy. Can anybody, I'm just going to lower everybody's hands. Can anybody tell me what those 7 letters are? N8409. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah, and you?
Alhamdulillah, I am also well. Jazakumullah. Okay, sweetheart. So, 7 thick and heavy letters. Can you tell me what they are?
Ha, Qaf, Ghain,
Yeah? Okay, not to worry. That's fine. Let me show you. Okay? Here they are. Read them with me, darling. Ho,
Ha,
Sod,
Dod,
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 To,
Do,
To.
Do,
Okay, there's no H sound at the end of it, darling. To,
Do,
Zo,
Do,
Ghain,
Ghain,
Qaf.
Qaf.
Well done. Okay. Jazakumullah sweetheart for putting your hand up. Thank you for now. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, so as you can see, every day we show you this PDF and we show you that they're highlighted in red so that you can see what they are. And then when we go to our reading, we then highlight those thick, heavy sounds, okay? Now, as teachers and adults, we're experienced, so we can recognize where the thick, heavy sounds are, okay? You are learning. So for you to be able to instantly recognize when a thick, heavy sound is, you are going to have to memorize them, okay? Okay, so there's only 7 in this particular lesson here, which is in lesson 2, okay? This exercise is exercise 2.22 in Tashilul-Qur'an. Please do look at this and try and memorize these 7 letters. If you can memorize those ones, then you're fairly confident that the rest of them are going to be thin most of the time. Okay, so let's now go on to what we are going to be covering today, which is Majestic Laam. Okay, so having explained that there are 7 letters in the alphabet that are always thick and heavy, there is one other letter. There are 2 letters, in fact, but we're going to do one of them today. There is a letter that is sometimes thick and sometimes thin. And that is the letter Laam. Okay, here. And I'm just going to go through and read through this so that you can understand when to recognize when a Laam becomes thick. You must pronounce a Laam mushaddad in the word Allah with a thick and broad sound if it is preceded, if something before it carries a vowel mark of fatha or dhamma. Okay, so let me show you what that means in practice. This word here, just there, this word that I've highlighted is the word Allah. Okay, alif, lam, lam mushaddad, and a ha. Ha. It's again here. Okay, Allah. And it is again here. In fact, just trying to control. There we go. Okay, so in fact, that word Allah is in all of the examples here. Now, whenever you see this word, okay, Allah, you always have to look at the letter that's beforehand that carries a stroke. So in this particular example, you go and you see that the very first letter beforehand is a lam and it carries a fatha. If that letter carries a fatha, then this lam becomes a thick and heavy sound. In the word Allah, look for the letter preceding it, coming before it, that carries a stroke, and look at the stroke that it carries. If it's a fatha, then this lam becomes a thick and heavy lam. If just before the word Allah, as in this word here, okay, Allah, if you go before, if the letter beforehand carries a dhamma, carries a dhamma, which is what this bar does, then this lam becomes a thick and heavy lam. Look at the word Allah and then look at the letter just before it that carries a stroke. If the stroke is a dhamma or a fatha, then the lam becomes a thick and heavy sound. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to practice the thick and heavy sounds with a student on the mic. If I may have a student, please. So if I may have a student on the mic, please.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. N8376.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through, bear with me, and read when we have a thick and heavy lam. In this word here, there is the word Allah, okay? The alif here carries a fatha. That means that this lam is pronounced in a thick and heavy way. So when we read it, we say Allahu.
Allahu.
Well done. In this one here, the word Allah, just before it is a lam which carries a fatha, means that this lam becomes thick and heavy. So when we read this, you say Allahu.
Allahu.
MashaAllah, very nice reading. In this one here, there is the word Allah. Just before it is a ba with a dhamma. That means that this lam becomes thick and heavy. Kitabullahi.
Kitabullahi.
Well done. One more time, but don't make the ba itself thick, okay? It's only the lam that becomes thick and heavy. Kitabullahi.
Kitabullahi.
MashaAllah, very, very nice. Okay, another example here. In this word, the letter that's before it that carries a stroke is this ta. It carries a fatha. This lam will become, tell me, darling?
Thick.
Thick and heavy because there's a fatha beforehand. Well done. Tallahi.
Tallahi.
Well done. Let's go through this example here. Allah is here. The letter that carries a stroke beforehand is this ra, carries a dhamma. This means that this lam is a
thick and heavy.
Well done. Nurullahi.
Nurullahi.
Well done. Ru, okay. Nurullahi.
Nurullahi.
MashaAllah, well done. Okay, and here, there is the word Allah. The letter just before that actually carries a stroke is a qaf, carries a fatha. This lam is a,
Second heavy.
well done. So when we read this, Khalaqallahu,
Khalaqallahu.
well done. Let's try and make the qaf itself thick and heavy as well, okay? Khalaqallahu,
Khalaqallahu.
well done, well done. Okay, very nice reading, mashallah. Jazakumullah for your help. If I may have another student, Allah Hafiz, darling, another student to the mic.
Okay, we can have 87364.
Assalamu alaikum. For A7364.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, darling. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am well. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, sweetheart. So we've just learned that whenever we see the word Allah, we look at the letter that carries a stroke that comes before it. Okay? If it carries a fatha or a dhamma, it means that the lam within la, okay, that becomes thick and heavy. So what we're going to do now is practice when the lam is not thick and heavy. Okay? So here is the word Allah. There is a lam here, the mushaddad lam. Okay? The letter that comes before it that actually carries a stroke is a ba, and it carries a, do you know what this stroke is? This one here. Gus.
Kasra.
Well done. It's a kasra. When there's a kasra just before the word, then this lam becomes a thin sound. So when we read this, billahi,
Billahi.
well done. Now remember, thin sounds, if you smile, they become thin quite easily. Billahi.
Billahi.
Okay, let's go on to this example here. There is the word Allah. Just before it, there is a lam with a, what is this stroke?
Kasra.
Well done. Okay, because that's a kasra, this lam mushaddad here within the word Allah becomes thin sound. Okay, so we read Qulillahu.
Qulillahu.
Well done, well done. Okay, here the word Allah is in there. Okay, just before it, okay, there is a stroke with a that is a kasra. That means that the lam mushaddad within the word Allah becomes thin. So what we do is we read it as thin. Falillahi.
Falillahi.
Okay, darling, when you do a thin sound, try and smile. Okay, la.
La.
Well done. Falillahi.
Falillahi.
MashaAllah, very nice. Let's have a go at this one here. Word Allah, the stroke that comes just before it is a kasra. This lam becomes thin. Amillahu.
Amillahu.
Well done. Here, there is the word Allah. Just before it is a kasra. The meme is carrying a kasra. So this lam becomes thin. Bismillahi.
Bismillahi.
Well done. Bismillahi.
Bismillahi.
MashaAllah, very nice. The timing is for 2 seconds on the vertical fatha, okay? Right. And lastly, let's do this example here. There is the word Allah. Just before it is a ra, which carries a kasra. That means that this lam is a thin lam. So when we read it, we do this. Amrillahi.
Amirahi.
Okay, one more time, darling, yeah? Well done. Amrillahi.
Amrillahi.
Okay. Just try and smile as you say this, okay? Amrillahi.
Amrillahi.
Well done. Okay, so let me just ask you to read me this one here for me, okay? Tell me, will this lam mushaddad here be thick or thin?
Thick.
Why will it be thick?
Because it it doesn't has a it has a Allahi.
Okay, so there is the word Allah, okay, here. The letter beforehand that actually carries a stroke is this ra. What stroke is that ra carrying? In Arabic, it's known as a dhamma. Okay, well done. Okay, dhamma. When there's a dhamma beforehand, this lam becomes thick. It's because of this dhamma that this lam becomes thick. Okay, so you must always look just before what is the stroke. If it's on top, then that means that this lam is going to become thick and heavy. So have a go at reading this by yourself, darling.
Nurullahi.
Well done. Okay, now explain to me in this word here, what will happen to the lam mushaddad here? Will it be thick or thin?
Thick.
Well done. And why will it be thick?
Because it has Allah and it has a Dhamma.
Okay, so there is the word Allah. The letter that comes before it is this lam with a stroke. Okay, the letter that comes before it that carries a stroke is this lam. It has on top of it a fatha. When there's a fatha, this fatha causes this lam mushaddad to become thick and heavy. Okay, it's always the letter that comes before that is carrying a stroke. Look at the stroke. If the stroke is on top, then this lam mushaddad becomes thick. If the letter beforehand, like here, in this one here, if the letter beforehand has a stroke underneath, the lam becomes thin. So this one here, you've said it correctly, is thick. Can you have a go at reading that, darling?
Talallahu.
Okay, well done. Qaf is a thick and heavy sound. Qa.
Qa.
Well done. Qalallahu.
Talallahu.
Well done. Okay, this lam that's in red isn't thick. Okay, it's only this lam mushaddad here that's in blue. That's the thick one. Okay. Qalallahu.
Qalallahu.
Okay, one more time. Only the blue lam, that's what's going to be thick and heavy. This red lam isn't, okay? Because that's not part of the word. It's just beforehand, okay? Qalallahu.
Qalallahu.
Okay. Okay, so you're going to have to practice on making your qaf thick and heavy, okay? But inshallah, with practice, you'll get there, okay?
Khuda Hafiz.
Okay, Allah Hafiz, Jazakumullah for your help. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just take you to our surah of the day, which is Surah Ikhlas. Okay, now before I start on this, In Charge Discipline is going to take students who are not correctly ID'd and place them in the waiting room. Some of you don't know that you're incorrectly ID'd. If you now find yourself in the waiting room, it's because you've been placed there because your ID is not correct. You will be readmitted today, okay, after a very short wait, okay, but we just want you to be aware that your ID is not valid. So you just need to make sure that you can find your ID and then log in correctly. Okay, so while she does that, let me now get my highlighter and remind you again, these are the thick and heavy letters highlighted in red. Please do try and memorize them. We will be asking every now and again for you to tell us what they are. Okay, so it's important that you try and remember them. So in this particular chapter, okay, let's go through and highlight the thick and heavy sounds. Here, off. Here, sod. Okay, so those are the only two thick sounds. Now today we learned about the Majestic Laam. And the Majestic Laam is a Laam which is within the word Allah, for example here. And sometimes the Laam Mushaddad becomes thick and heavy, sometimes it becomes thin. Okay? And the way to work it out is to look at the letter that's just beforehand that's carrying a stroke. If the stroke is on top, then the Laam Mushaddad becomes thick and heavy. So in this particular example, this Laam here will be a thick and heavy Laam purely because the letter beforehand that's carrying a stroke is the Waw. It carries a Fatha. The Fatha is going to cause this Laam to be thick and heavy. Here, there's again the word Allah. The letter that's carrying a stroke just beforehand is here, an alif which carries a Fatha. Because the Fatha is a stroke just before it, this Laam is a thick and heavy Laam. Okay, so I'm going to highlight that. Okay, so those two examples are here, but there's one other example, and that's in the Tasmiyah, in the Bismillah. Okay, here is the word Allah. Okay, so it occurs here as well. You look at the letter beforehand that carries a stroke. In this case, it's a Mim with a Kasra. Because it's a Kasra, this Laam becomes a thin Laam. Okay, so I'm not going to highlight it, but I will underline it so that you can remember to pay attention to making sure that that's a thin Laam. Okay, now those are the thick sounds that are occurring within this chapter. But remember that when we're going to recite it, we are going to pay attention to all of our timings as well, like here, okay, where there's a vertical Fatha. Okay, so that's the only one. We are also going to pay attention to our timings when there is Madda letters, like the example here, okay? And I'm going to take those away because it's only the thick, heavy sounds I want to highlight. And we're also going to remember to apply qalqala, okay? Dal here, there'll be a qalqala here because this is a one of those letters that we taught about yesterday. We're going to pause on this, so we're going to bounce. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask everybody to lower their hands because the register is about to be taken. If your hands are up, your chances are you won't be included in the register. So make sure your hands are lowered. And discipline in charge will take the register. And if I can ask our in-charge discipline to come to the mic and recite Surah Ikhlas for us before we have students on the mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
MashaAllah, Jazakumullah for a lovely recitation. If I can now have a student on the mic.
So do you need another student?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll give you N8380.
Assalamu alaikum. N8380. Student N8380.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Okay, sweetheart, if you just bear with me. Everybody, because your hands are up, our support teachers are having difficulty unmuting students because the list is moving around. Okay, so every time they go to a student to unmute, the student moves. So that's why we're actually having this delay. Okay, so if you can really please try and keep your hands down. Okay, right then. So sweetheart, N8380. If you can start with, let me just bring up. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to find. Here we go. Start with the Dawood and then we'll go on to the surah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
MashaAllah, very, very nice recitation. Sweetheart, can you just go through the very first verse one more time? Here.
قل هو الله أحد.
Well done. Okay. When you first read it, I didn't quite hear the thickness of the lam. There's absolutely nothing for me to critique there. All of your pronunciation was very good. All of your timing was very good. And you pronounced the qalqala in all the places that you needed to do. So, mashallah, jazakumullah, Allah hafiz for now. If I may have another student to the mic.
Okay, we can have A7372.
Assalamu alaikum. Therefore, A7372.
372. A7372.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. Okay then, so let me take you to the Dawood. If you could start with the Dawood, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay. Okay, Ain. A'udhu billahi
أعوذ بالله
minash shaitan.
من الشيطان
Okay. Da.
الرجيم.
Well done. Nirrajim. Well done. Take your time. One more time.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Well done. Okay. See here, this lam here. This is also the word Allah. There is a kasra beforehand. This lam needs to be thin. Okay. One more time. Make sure this lam is thin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
MashaAllah. Very nice. Okay.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, if you could read, darling.
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Okay, well done. Okay then, sweetheart. So let me just go through and just correct some of the things that happened there, okay? Repeat with me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Well done, okay? Make sure here this lam stays thin, okay? This of here is a thick, heavy sound, okay? Qul huwallahu ahad.
Qul huwallahu ahad.
Okay. Qul,
Qul,
okay. Right at the back of your mouth, darling, the top of your throat. Qul.
qul,
Well done. Qul huwallahu ahad.
qul huwallahu ahad.
Well done. This letter here, darling, is a H, okay? Say it with me, H.
Ha,
Well done, okay? Qul huwallahu ahad.
qul huwallahu.
Qul
Qul
huwallahu.
huwallahu.
Okay. Qul huwallahu
Qul huwallahu
ahad.
ahad.
Okay. Allahu samad.
Allahu samad.
Well done. This lam here with the vertical fatha, the lam shaddad, okay? That's part of the word Allah. Just before it is a fatha. That means that this lam is a thick and heavy sound, okay? So when you read it, you must do it as a thick and heavy sound. Allahu.
Allahu.
Round your mouth as you say the lam, okay? Allahu samad.
Allahu samad.
Well done. Lam yalid.
Lam yalid.
Well done. Lam yalid wa lam yulad.
Lam yalid wa lam yulad.
Wa lam yulad.
Wa lam yulad.
Well done. Because this is a madda, okay? 2 seconds. One more time. Lam yalid wa lam yulad.
Lam yalid wa lam yulad.
Okay, well done. Pay attention to the timings, okay? But let's move on. Wa lam yakul lahu.
Wa lam yakun lahu
Kufuwan ahad.
kufuwan ahad.
Well done. Now, where I've highlighted here, this is a rule that we did teach in G1, but we will revise very, very soon. This noon is not pronounced, okay? That's all you need to know for today. I will, one of the teachers in a future lesson will teach you why that noon isn't read. We will revise that fairly soon, okay? So when you read this, sound as if the noon isn't there, okay?
Okay.
Kullahu.
Kullahu.
Well done. Walam yakullahu kufuwan ahad.
Walam yalid walam yakullahu kufuwan ahad.
Well done. Okay. When you do kalkala, darling, yeah? Say for me, ahad.
Ahad.
Well done. Okay. The tip of your tongue, when you make the d sound here, goes and touches the top of your mouth. D. Okay. When you do kalkala, the tongue touches the tip of your touches the bridge of your mouth, the top of your mouth, and then it comes back down again quite quickly. Okay. Ahad.
Ahad.
Well done. Okay. Sweetheart, you are going to have to practice on these. If you can, go to our website or go to the app that we have. In there, we do have some recordings of this particular surah as well as some others. You can listen to it and practice along with it, okay? You will need to practice to make sure that you pronounce everything properly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Jazakumullah. If I can maybe have another student, please.
Da, please.
Allah Hafiz, darling. If everyone can
Okay,
put
yes.
their hands
One
down.
moment, please. Okay. We can have A7409.
Assalamu alaikum.
Excuse me, I'm not unmuted yet.
Okay. If you can mute yourself, darling. Yeah. You know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you, darling?
Good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm also well. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, sweetheart. So let's have a read from the Dawood, please. Yeah. Remember to take your time.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay. So I'm just going to point out that you must make sure. Okay, I'm trying. This lam here is a thin lam. Okay. Why? Because just beforehand is a kasra. Okay. So this lam must be a thin, and this here, if I could just manage to highlight it, this is a thick and heavy sound, a ta. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Well done, well done. Okay, very, very nice reading. Okay. Just a few things I want to point out to you. Here, okay, let me just put that here. In here, there is the word Allah. What is the stroke that comes just before it here?
Kasra.
Kasra. What does that make this lam mushaddad? What sound will it make?
A thin sound.
Thin sound, okay. When you read it, you made this a thick sound, okay? So have another read of this verse, but make sure this lam is thin. One more time, darling.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Well done. Okay. This letter here with the two dots is a qaf. Is that a thick, heavy sound or a thin one?
Thick.
Thick. Well done. Okay. So when you read it, make sure you do a thick, heavy sound. Okay. Read this verse one more time.
قل هو الله أحد.
Well done. Okay. Here, just here, okay, there is the word Allah. What is the stroke just beforehand?
Fatha.
Fatha. What does that mean about this lam here?
It's going to be a thick sound.
Well done. Okay. So one more time, have a read.
قل هو الله أحد.
Well done. Okay. Now, here. Okay. This lam here. Tell me, is that going to be a thick lam or a thin lam?
A thick lam.
Why will it be a thick lam?
Because the most recent letter with a stroke on it has a dhamma.
Okay. So, okay. Well done. Well done for explaining that actually very, very nicely. Let me take you back to the lesson that we had today, okay? And I just read it for you one more time because this is a very common mistake that people make. Let me read through here. The student, the learner, yourselves, should be taught to pronounce the lam mushaddad in the word Allah with a thick and broad sound. It's only in the word Allah, okay, like here, that's the only time that a lam may become thick and heavy, okay? Any other lam, whether it's lam mushaddad or any other lam, If it's not within the word Allah, it's always going to be thin. The only time that the lam is going to be thick and heavy is if it's within the word Allah and the letter that comes before it that is carrying a stroke is carrying a fatha or a dhamma. Now let me take you back to here. This lam mushaddad, is that part of the word Allah?
No.
No. Okay. So what will this be then? Will this be a thick or a thin lam?
Thin.
Thin, because it's only in the word Allah that it might become thick. Okay, so what you've done is you've understood that the dhamma makes a difference, but this isn't the word Allah, so in this case that makes no difference. So read this one more time, but make this a thin lam. Okay.
وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ.
Well done, well done. Okay, sweetheart, Jazakumullah for a really lovely recitation. Allah Hafiz for now. Okay, so we've come to the end of our class, and if we may have all students back into the class, please. Okay, so we've come to the end of our class, and what we've done today is reminded ourselves that there are 7 thick and heavy sounds, and some of us need to revise what they are so that we can memorize them. Okay, there's only 7. They're listed here in exercise 2.22 and they're in red. Okay, so you need to memorize those. We learned today that a lam mushaddad is sometimes thick and heavy if it's within the word Allah and the letter that carries a stroke just beforehand carries a fatha or a dhamma. All other cases, lams are thin. The only time a lam mushaddad is thick and heavy is when it's part of the word Allah and the stroke just beforehand is either a fatha or a dhamma, or a stroke that's on the top. Okay? So we learned those things, and then we were reminded about timing, that if we don't do things properly timed, we can change the meaning of the word. So that will now take me to the homework for today. Thursday, the 9th of January, we focused on Al-Ikhlas, the whole chapter, and we reminded ourselves about thick letters and timing and also Qalqala, and we learned about Majestic Laam. Thick letters you can find in lesson 2, page 33. If you want to remind yourself about timing, you can get it from the PDF that you can download from our website, nqc.org.uk. Qalqala we did yesterday, and it was in lesson 25 on page 113. Majestic Laam was the rule for today. It's part of lesson number 25, page number 111. Remember, as we've written on every single homework, that timing is extremely important and pronunciation is extremely important. Why? Because if you don't do those things properly, you can change the meaning of the word. We would like you to practice this particular chapter, Al-Ikhlas, today, paying attention to all of these rules. Okay, so now that takes me to our dua. If I may have a student on the mic.
Okay, we can have N8384.
Assalamu alaikum, Nasser N8384.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, darling. Okay then, so would you like to read the dua by yourself or shall I lead you?
I'll do it by myself.
Okay then, don't forget the Dawood and the Tasbih beforehand.
Okay. Allahumma.
Okay, darling, A'udhu billahi.
A'udhu billahi
Carry on.
min ash-shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma arhamni bil Qur'anil azim.
Okay, this is a ra. Qur'a.
Qur'anil Azimi.
Wajh.
Wajh al-Huli Imaman wa Nuran wa Hudan wa Rahmata. Rahma.
Well done. Okay. Jazakumullah Sriha. If you can quickly read the English translation.
O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Jazakumullah Sriha. Okay. So with that, I will say Allah Hafiz for today, and inshallah we will see you all tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.